Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News in the morning starts now.
The state of Illinois is helping you keep your child safe. The event they held across the state to teach parents what they need to know before hitting the road. And the details behind 3 casino plans set to be revealed tonight. The public forum you could be a part of to get your voice, your opinions. Plus, a state group making their way to Rockford to talk cannabis, the event they're holding, and the facts they say businesses need to know. Good morning and happy Monday. I'm Brett Brooks.
Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joey Marino. Welcome to fall, everyone.
Happy first day of fall, Joey.
Happy first day of fall, everybody.
So does new seasons kind of get meteorologists excited?
Oh, sometimes, especially when it depends on if it's the meteorological seasons or the astronomical seasons. But yeah, for fall, I always look forward to, some of that apple cider, making some nice campfires outside, and also the cooler temperatures.
And I kind of noticed that today, walking outside, it was a little bit cooler.
Yeah, we did have a cold front pass through out there this morning, so it's going to feel a little bit cooler as you make your way out the door. Let's take a look at what's going on outdoors. But first, welcome to fall, everybody. Fall officially began this morning at 2:50 a.m. and looks like temperatures are starting off a little bit fall-like out there. We're actually pretty quiet after that cold front passed through earlier this morning. Just partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to be seeing decreasing clouds as the morning progresses, and then we'll see some sunshine for the afternoon. But for right now, 58 degrees here in Rockford. We do have a light northwest breeze at 9 miles per hour, and dew points are feeling comfortably in the 50s as well. So here's a look at temperatures across the board. 55 up in Janesville, 57 down in Rochelle, 56 in Monroe, 51 already out in Galena, and 55 out west in Savannah. So not much showing up on satellite and radar, just a few passing clouds after that cold front passed through this morning. We're going to keep our weather risk on the low side. Happy first day of fall. Sunny and breezy conditions will arrive by the afternoon. Now, the bus stop forecast, partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the mid-50s. We'll see a light breeze for the kids getting off the bus this afternoon with temperatures only warming up to 72 degrees. So let's take a look now at our First Warn Interactive Radar, sponsored by Paper Recovery Service. Not much to show you on our radar this morning. A little bit of a quiet start out there. We're going to continue the fall-like trend the next couple of days, and I'll have more on that coming up in the First Warn weather forecast.
You were right over the weekend, too, about the rain coming in on Sunday.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't as heavy as predicted, so we didn't get to see that much flash flooding, but still, it's been a wet September so far.
I thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
Police search for the person responsible for hitting a man in a wheelchair and driving off. It happened outside of Swedes on East State around 9:30 Sunday night. The victim was struck by a dark-colored SUV. He was taken to Swedes with serious injuries. Anyone with information should call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers. National Child Passenger Safety Week comes to a close with Seat Check Saturday. Across the state, the Illinois Department of Transportation supported over 50 seat safety check events. As Dylan Sarakis reports, here in the state line, Mercy Health in Alpine and Loves Park wanted to make sure patients knew the right way to buckle their kids in.
It is very important. I mean, you always think it can't happen to you, but it definitely could. So better be safe than find out the hard way that it's important.
According to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, on average, 2 children under the age of 13 are killed while riding in cars, pickups, vans, and SUVs each day. The organization says that car seats reduce fatal injury by 71% for infants and 54% for toddlers, but also found that 46% of car seats and booster seats are not used properly. This is where a car seat certified technician like Mercy Health's Colette Rossi-Libke steps in.
We first want to make sure that the seats are installed correctly, that the children are then in the car seat correctly, everybody is buckled and in the proper car seats.
Bonnie Lehman is a mother of 4, including a 7-year-old and 5-year-old who both use car seats. She says she tries to get her seats checked every year.
I'm very paranoid about car seat safety, so it's kind of a peace of mind to know that I'm doing everything right.
With summer ending and temperatures dropping, Rossi-Libke says this changes how you fasten a child into their car seat.
It is always best if children are buckled into their car seat without the big snowsuits, without the big heavy coats, because then the seatbelt, the harness, can fit snugly against them.
As winter approaches, she suggests buckling a child in and then covering them with their coat or a blanket.
As Dylan Saraki reporting, Mercy Health technicians are available on the second Saturday of every month. They rotate between the Rockton Avenue campus and Riverside campus. You can schedule an appointment by calling the Mercy Health helpline. A ban on flavored vaping products could happen sooner rather than later. A Chicago area state representative pitched a bill to ban all vaping flavors except menthol. Critics say other flavors market towards children. Last week, we told you the State Department of Public Health urged all vaping users to stop immediately. About 6 dozen people in Illinois have suffered from vaping-related illnesses. The bill will be considered during the fall veto session in Springfield. If passed, it would be similar to other bans taking effect in New York and Michigan. Tonight, we will hear from the first time details behind 3 proposals for a Rockford casino. A public hearing is scheduled for 5:30 at the Coronado. Doors open at 5. Hard Rock International wants to build a casino at the former Clock Tower site. The Rock River West Casino Group is targeting a location downtown along the river. And the Forest City Casino Group is looking at building off Riverside Boulevard near I-90. Here's some other important information about the hearing. Each group has 45 minutes. There will be a 10-minute break in between presentations. Afterward, audience members can ask questions. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes. If you cannot make tonight's hearing, we will live stream the hearing in its entirety on our website, mystateline.com. You can also watch on our Facebook page. Also happening tonight, 2 events surrounding cannabis. The group Illinois Women in Cannabis is touring the state talking about business and investment opportunities. This will be held at the District in downtown Rockford from 6 to 9. Ortho Illinois hosts a second forum talking about what employers need to know. That will be held at 5:30 at Giovanni's. Recreational marijuana becomes legal in Illinois January 1st. The Freeport YMCA celebrates an important milestone. Sunday marks the organization's 150th year operating in the Pretzel City. They celebrated in style, from bouncy houses to balloons and cake, of course. The Y credits the thousands of volunteers over the years for its success.
We're just fortunate to have so many good people working for the YMCA, and to me, that's what ultimately leads to the success of any organization that's going to be successful, is its people.
Height says Sunday celebration was also a way to say thank you to everyone who's been involved with the Y and the community for its support. Time is of the essence in a medical emergency. For those living in rural areas, speed can be critical. Now, a new bill in Springfield could help out. Cole Heinke is keeping you connected to the Capitol.
Scott Fries has 4 children, is a member of his local Lions Club, and he loves his bikes. But all of that was threatened when he had a stroke.
My sister noticed I wasn't feeling well, and I had trouble sitting down. Well, luckily, the gentleman sitting next to me had worked for an ambulance service, and he had his radio and stuff with him. He checked me real quick, and he said, I think he's having a stroke.
Fries lives in Stewardson, but thanks to telehealth technology, Scott was taken to the nearest hospital in Effingham, examined by a team of specialists in Ohio, and administered a TPA drug, all within a half an hour of his stroke. And more help like this could be coming. Money in Illinois' new capital bill would expand telehealth access to other rural parts of the state and help more people like Fries.
You know, I knew they were doing evaluation by the computer, but that to find out where they were and that they'd be that precise, yeah, I was just amazed.
Telehealth procedures can be used to treat and monitor many other conditions and illnesses besides just strokes. But health insurance providers don't always front the bill. Now, hospital officials are excited that telehealth may become more viable for people across Illinois now that the state is sponsoring its expansion.
Health, it's as varied as doing in-hospital ICU monitoring remotely, and to actually taking care of chronic diseases at home like asthma, congestive heart failure, or even monitoring your heart rhythms.
Fries counts himself lucky. He knows others who did not receive as rapid of a treatment as he did for a stroke, and their lives changed completely. Meanwhile, Fries returned to work only a week later.
The fact that we can get telemedicine out there and make it equal for everyone. You know, let's level the playing field.
Time now is 5:09, and coming up next on Eyewitness News, a young climate change activist takes an extreme overseas trip to Washington, D.C. The demands she has for lawmakers and the young people she is inspiring along the way. And Joey has your forecast.
Happy first day of fall, everybody. We're going to feel fall-like for the rest of the day today. No shower chances in the forecast. I'll have more on that coming up. First, warned by the forecast. Stay tuned.